to another episode. We are here for another episode of everyone's favorite place to be on a Wednesday morning. Where else would you rather be on the internet on a Wednesday morning, Brandon? But right here at Practice, the show.
You know, the 70-hour solo grind is not the flex that you think it is. If your business only works when you do, then you don't own a business, you own a job. Now, the entrepreneurs scaling the fastest aren't working more hours, they're building systems, leverage, and teams that can multiply their output because more hours don't automatically create more growth. And I've noticed that the bottlenecks happen when all the decisions depend on you. And systems can turn those repetitive tasks into predictable outcomes. AI and automation can handle work that used to consume your day because the goal isn't to do more work, it's to create more leverage. And real freedom comes when the business can grow without your constant involvement. If you want to learn how to replace the hustle with leverage and build a business that scales, join us on tonight's episode of Pitch Practice, the show. My name is Mark. I'm the guy behind the Mental Marketer and the private Facebook group Funnel Building 101, teaching the newest art and science of funnel building to help content creators sell other people's stuff.
Brandon here, your chief business strategist, helping you hook those funnels up online properly, fix those leaky marketing buckets, and get you set up to get out of that grind.
Yeah, that grind, that 70-hour grind. I am learning something about that, especially over these past couple of weeks since diving deeper into the Marketing Secrets AI app. I'm fighting some resistance, Brandon.
What, of trying to have to do everything yourself?
Of letting go of some control.
Yeah, I mean it's tough. I mean, your business is your baby, right? And you think you're the only one that can do it right, and get the results that you want to get. But the reality is, I mean, 80% right is truly good enough for it to go out there. Like the moment that control can be relinquished to somebody else to take on the task, that just frees you up to actually innovate within the business and come up with better ideas to make it grow. I mean, I find this like an interesting topic because I've been reading Tim Ferriss's 4-Hour Work Week.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm about halfway through listening to that book. So reading, listening, whatever you want to call it. And there's some interesting concepts in there, hacks, tactics, frameworks to have that 4-hour work week. And I know 4 hours seems like, 4 hours, what the heck are you even doing then during your week if you're only quote unquote working for 4 hours? And a lot of it was the systems that were set up. I mean, even in your 9-to-5 job, if you still have one, I mean, you technically could work 4 hours and be just as productive. I mean, I wish I could say that was the case for me at this point in time. I'm trying to keep airplanes in the air, and there ain't no way I'd be able to do that 4 hours. What's going on? But yeah, I mean, if you actually think about it, typical 9-to-5 worker, how many hours of work are they actually getting done within the day for your typical desk job? I'm not talking about your guy out there swinging a hammer, or having to actually produce a piece of physical work.
Mm-hmm.
But for the person behind the desk answering emails and pushing papers, I mean, how much work is actually getting done between the water cooler breaks and the cross cubicle gossip, right?
Oh yeah, that's that's a production thing But then again, living in the United States, we have had the traditional 5-day work week. It's not the same in all countries, and I think that more countries understand how to do more with less. And I think I wrote a post on my profile just this week about having the false belief that more equals more, but it's not always the case. And when we can actually let go of some of the things, and I'm almost really speaking for myself here, Brandon, when I say we, read me. Yeah, thinking that more equals more when it doesn't. It just equals something that, not being able to do what you do best. And not being able to do what you do best. And when you can let someone else take over and do what they do best, it's just, you'll do more by doing less. And I've been really figuring that out. It's figuring it out and experiencing it more recently. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, with the added responsibilities that have been kind of thrust on me, I'm just trying to figure out how to best manage the task. Leveraging the automation tools that are available now. You can't automate yourself out of bad processes. If the process isn't set up properly, is broken, you're just going to automate it into a brick wall. From the Batman side of the gig, it's been more side than hustle, really. And that's just trying to maintain what I got and make sure that bank account's still positive at the end of the month. And I got to figure out how to leverage the systems that I already have for the lead gen and the reach out and all that kind of stuff, as well as quit being scared and actually hire somebody to do it for me, and then have faith in the offer that it's actually going to close. That way I can pay the person who's out there doing the grinding for me. So it's a very, I won't call it difficult, but it's an uncomfortable feeling in letting that go. And I can see and understand when I'm out talking to these solo guys, asking them if they want to grow, and I see that lean back in the chair, right? It's like, grow? What do you mean grow? Like, what more do I have to do now? That's what they're thinking in their mind, because they're already doing everything now. They're doing their own books. They're, fixing their own equipment. They're scheduling their own appointments. They're driving off to the jobs themselves, hopping on whatever piece of equipment they got and grinding it out. They can't see the needs that the business actually needs to grow, so I get it. I wish I could fix it. I know I got to be able to fix it for myself before I can fix it for anybody else. And I'm just trying to put the plan together to make it happen.
Yeah, I think it's the repetitive tasks that are mostly the time consumers. But it's interesting because I'll go back in just my own personal life. Now, today, I literally don't pay attention to any bills, and I think about, years ago, sitting down every month and thinking, okay, let me write out this bill. Let me take the time and decide how much this bill costs. But now it's literally, I put everything on autopilot. I just, just know how much money that I'm going to spend every month, and just make sure that money is in the bank account for, every week. So that was an example of taking some type of automated task off of my plate. And because of that, how much I think I take it for granted now, but it probably saves me at least a couple hours every month, just having that done. So now I'm in the process myself, because you're talking about how you're helping them out. I'm in the process now of doing it bit by bit, and handing the reins over to AI more. I think handing, my auto bill pay over, that's not really considered AI though, really.
No,
Right? It's just more of just an automation, not really an AI automation. It's just letting an auto something go out on auto. Why is it so hard? Why can't I just say, here, create this post? Well, because it's possible now to tell AI to research something and actually create this post and post it for me on social media. It doesn't take, well, at least with the Marketing Secrets AI software, it doesn't take any additional softwares. It doesn't take it used to, there was softwares out there that did it for you, that could schedule your content and actually post it for you. It's becoming easier and easier. It's to the point now where Facebook is actually telling you should post this.
Yeah, and with those apps, like you're talking Hootsuite, you're talking Active. Well, I don't know if Active Campaign would do it, but I know that's for more email automation. But Cloud Campaign, yeah, I think that's what it is. Cloud Campaign. What other social media apps? Heck, my AI powered social media app can, create the stuff and get it scheduled to be out there. But and going back to the Marketing Secrets app, for the times that I was on it, I mean, it was great. I didn't take advantage of it as much as I probably should have, but it did help me out and show me what could potentially be done. And then when I get back to that level again, to really start leveraging it, and growing from there. But again, a lot of this stuff does take the work up front. It's still like sowing your field, right? What kind of crops you're going to get at the end. Right now, beginning of corn season, and they're already planted. It's going to be knee high by the 4th of July because we're getting a lot of rain, and it's going to be good. So that's kind of how you have to look at starting anything new in the business. Is what is the input you're going to put in now to get the result later, because it's not instant. It's going to take time with any new systems or processes that you put in. And you can end up just getting rid of a bunch of the dead weight, so to speak. I mean, how many apps have you purchased that are now just gathering dust because you have the new shiny Cadillac sitting in the driveway, kind of managing and doing everything that all those other ones have done?
Yeah. I know. Well, I talk about that because I not subscribed to any of the other chat assistants, and it was funny because, right before we came on today, I went to go into Chat GPT and I was like, where is everything?
Yeah, the browser definitely has changed on it.
Because I haven't been using it at all. And I went in there. I've literally, gone away from using that and using my AI chief of staff, literally, 100% of the time, because inside of the AI Secrets, you've actually got several different models that you can choose from. Just clicking through the drop down menu. But I agree. Why is it so hard for people? Why is it so hard? I mean, I think you talked about someone that you saw posting online, and then after a while, it started to feel like it was what were you saying?
like a depressing grind. Like the whole message to market, I personally felt, granted, not my business. This is outsider looking in, potential customer. I always look at potential clients from the view of the potential customer. And I just got done reading the what is it?
4-Hour Work Week.
No, well that, but for 75 Hard, the Ultimate Marketing Plan, Dan Kennedy, Ultimate Marketing Plan. And one of the core frameworks in there was message to market, right? What message are you putting out to market to attract your ideal customer? And this guy, like, he seemed like he was just bitching, excuse my language there, but just bitching about the fact that, oh, I quit my 9 to 5 and now I work 5 to 9, or the wife just got to understand that I got to get out here and grind and hustle, and posting pictures of him in his trailer and different hours of the day, and that kind of stuff. And I get it, man. Kudos to the guy for taking the risk, the leap, getting out of the corporate slog. But if he's making more money than what he did there, I think he was an auto guy, automotive sales guy with some finance manager background, all that kind of stuff. I know how much they make. If he's making more than that by himself, great. If he's making just as much, he just bought himself his own job. I mean, it's not a business. It's his own job where he's leveraging all the risk and putting out content that may or may not be attracting the more lucrative customers that he could potentially be getting if he had a crew and proper marketing out in the space. So, except not knocking a guy. Everybody's got to start somewhere. But the faster you can realize that the owned job is not the way to grow, the better off you'll be.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's an illusion when people say, leave your job, stop the 9 to 5 grind. Then they leave the 9 to 5 and they go into a grind. They go into a grind. They go into a grind, and it's it's dealing with your responsibilities. Listening to Garrett J. White on one of his, I won't say a famous talk, but one of the talks that I've seen played over and over again, is where he talks about, if you are one of the crazy 2% that is willing to take on the responsibility of a paycheck, of paying someone's paycheck, of being responsible, of while your employee is out on the beach on Saturday, you need to be the one that's making sure that that check doesn't bounce.
Yeah, it clears on Monday. Yeah, I'm very familiar with that. I think Russell plays that every once in a while during his interludes to try to get that last bit of squeeze out of his webinars. It's always a good video. And
pretty emotionally.
Yeah, it's pretty emotionally charged. It does. It hits you, and you know my feelings with Garrett J. White. I love to hate him. I mean, I think his message is okay. He changes it up way too much. You don't know if he's where he's coming from next, but he's not wrong in that. I mean, it is the 1% crazy that go out and try to change the world and do what they can to help as many other people, whether it be as an employer-employee relationship or as a producer-consumer relationship for the things that they're looking to solve in the world. So again, not knocking the guy that is hopping on the mower every morning at 5 a.m. to go cut grass. I personally feel like I'm in the grass cutting stage of my life. Like, I would enjoy to have a job that I'm just cutting grass, because I feel like that'll be a heck of a lot less stress than what I'm doing or trying to get into now. But yeah, I'd still want a business behind it that where I didn't have to cut the grass, like I wanted to cut the grass. You know what I mean? That's the difference that I'm trying to talk and convey here when it comes to owning a business like that.
You're wanting to cut some grass? Are
That's
you?
it.
Yeah. So I don't think I've read that book, 4 Hour Work Week. Maybe I have it on my bookshelf. I'm not sure. What are some of the main strategies that it talks about, or what are some of the biggest problems that people might encounter when trying to optimize their time and go from the grind to leveraging more time? What are some big takeaways?
Yeah. So the biggest, and I'm merging it with another book here because the concepts were pretty much the same with the book E-Myth Revisited. It's the God of minutes. You could be in the cubicle or office or whatever, and somebody's walking by your office. Hey, got a minute? Or which just one, stops your momentum for anything that you're doing if you are on task for something, and two, it could probably be just a complete waste of time. It's like you got to cut out the got a minutes. The second thing is the actual workflow that you put in place yourself, right? Especially when it comes to email. I mean, with all the notifications we get today, we're apt, as soon as that phone dings, we're trained to pick it up. You know what I mean? Like we're Pavloved into, as soon as it dings, oh, what's new? Like, where's that dopamine hit that we're going to be getting? And same thing with the emails that come through. And one of the things that I just came across was how to manage your email to be more efficient. It's like, okay, you're only answering email every day, or probably not even every day. It could be like every other day from 4 to 4:30. So like if somebody emails you at 6 a.m. in the morning about something, like you got to let them know that, hey, your email probably isn't going to get read until XYZ time, and may or may not get a response until XYZ time. So if it's like super important, you need to either figure it out, or it's not going to get addressed until it gets addressed. And it's like, holy cow, it's like, how can you do that, right? If somebody sends you something that's probably important, you should probably take care of it right now so it doesn't turn into anything big. And it's like, no, it's not. The basic premise of it is like, there's nothing literally that important that you have to drop anything else that you're doing at that current time to solve somebody else's problem. And I was like, wow, okay, maybe I should start implementing that on my deal, because there's a lot of tasks that have to be done. And if you're worried about answering an email to appease somebody else, you're never going to be able to get what you need done. That is absolutely necessary to either move your career forward or move your business forward. So, it was very, very interesting concept, at least on the email itself, and that really had me interested in learning how to actually implement that on my deal.
Yeah, I've had to implement a policy. And this is not to do with the emails, but it's to do with the alerts on my phone. You mentioned the dopamine hit, and I got to, if I started to realize I would look at my phone, and if I didn't, let's say I just left my phone for, a half a day without even opening it up or looking up at it, I'd always come back and I would have a list of alerts. I'm talking about email alerts, news alerts, Facebook alerts. I said to myself, I had to turn them all off. I had to turn these notifications off. And when they come in, I delete them. And people are vying for your attention. And it's getting to the point where we are bombarded every day with people trying to get our attention. And we know we're in the attention game, right?
Yeah, 100%. Like, we're trying to get other people's attention, but we're ignoring the attention that people are trying to get from us. So it's kind of like it's a double-edged sword, right? I mean, Cardone says you got to buy the product you sell. So shouldn't you like kind of give in a little bit to the attention it's trying to take from you, so you know how they're doing it, so you can do it? I don't know. It's again chicken and the egg, man. That's how I feel about it.
What I like to do is, if something actually gets my attention, then I say, "Whoa, that was good. That was good. That got my attention." I actually posted something recently about an email that I got from a brand that was wanting to, wanting me to collaborate with them, and they were reaching out to me, and I said, and I saw that email, and I actually thought it was cleverly written, and what did I do? I added it to my swipe file, and I shared it actually. And I think I said that I usually take those emails and I just delete them, because the moment you click on it or the moment you go down a rabbit hole, nothing is more frustrating than to get to the end of that rabbit hole and say to yourself, well, I just wasted 5 minutes. And it used to be, it was really bad at one point on Facebook, especially. You'd click on a video and then it would start taking you down something to just drag it on and then drag it on and then drag on. Maybe I'm not sure, maybe Facebook still does that, but I stopped watching them because I said to myself, that's 5 minutes that it was in. You think that you're losing 5 minutes, but I think in reality, you're really losing 10 minutes. Do you know why?
You got that just a residual effect of you still thinking about what you just watched, or you're beating yourself up for wasting the time that you watched it.
Yeah, because it's not only the time that you spent watching that video, but it's the time that you did not spend being productive. So not only did you spend 5 minutes of your life, but you lost 5 minutes that you could have been doing other reach out, other productive things. So that 5 minutes is actually more than 5 minutes. It's 10 minutes, because you're also losing out the other 5 minutes, and the 5 minutes that you took to watch that video, you still have to make that up. You still have to make that up with making your calls or doing your follow-ups. So yeah, and it's an ongoing battle because, at least for me, because I am on a television and news diet, and being on a television and news diet, you kind of pick up little bits of pieces there, here and there, but to go into it, and the news is just always there. But I try to stay away from it as much as possible, because that is one of the time wasters that will, and not only time waster, but I notice it'll have me feeling all kind of ways. It makes me feel news outlets, their job is to make you feel something.
Feel scared. That's it. That's the number one thing they're meant to do now, is just instill that fear within you, so you either end up go buying something or go voting a certain way. I mean, that's their only job, and to keep you hooked, to come back to see what the latest update is, because of the fear that you already have. Is the fear still there? Like, are we still okay? And that's terrible.
Yeah. And you look at the headlines, and it's all, and you look at the headline, and then you read the article, and it's like, that's not even it's like that's not even where it was. they're talking about something completely different. It's all clickbait, but
Yeah.
it's to keep you reading, keep you frustrated. But I think they know what the emotional triggers are, and that's what their job is. I don't know if their job is to really deliver the news as much as it is to keep you reading or
That's
keep
it.
you watching. And that's just, like you said, it's not right, but
Yep. You get the alert on you from your 10:30 show, new at 11, XYZ, mass this, whatever. So yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't think I've ever watched. I don't think I've watched TV in years at this point in time. I think I had, Hulu Live at some point, canceled that. And I got YouTube TV for the kiddos, but because my boys, they love the sports and things like that. So that's about it. It's me. It's just YouTube in the hustle culture grind videos of Hormozy and Russell and there we go. Hormozy and Russell and Cody Sanchez. Like those are really the only videos that I watch.
you're watching Cody Sanchez.
Yeah, I check out her videos every once in a while when they get a little interesting. Her latest stuff though really hasn't appealed to me, but whatever. She might change it up again.
Interesting. I was looking for some female entrepreneurs that are kind of, just kind of in the space. Besides the ones that are in the ClickFunnels world that we've seen, I was really trying to find some, and maybe I'm just not tuned to it. But Cody Sanchez was one of them. I think she's in Texas too, isn't she? I think.
Yeah, I think she's in Texas. She's the business buyer. She started off by herself, but she realized that she needed a team to grow. And I think her first hustle business, I guess, was laundromats. So you still need a team to run a laundromat. Can't run a laundromat by yourself because you're out there fixing all the problems, collecting all the money, all that kind of stuff. I'm sure you got to have somebody trustworthy to do it because laundromats are a cash business. It's easy for cash to go missing, right? So, I get why you would be wanting to do it yourself so you knew the money was there, but you still got to have a team to clean and run the business.
Right. And speaking of teams and leverage, because once you let go of the reins or some part of your business, then there's the inevitable that will occur, which is problems, or we could say opportunities. Problems, opportunities, and how we look at those. This is just me talking about how we look at situations that arise. And a lot of people, we can frame them as problems, but we can also frame them as opportunities. And when these arise, and I'll just talk about an example, especially that's becoming more and more common today with owners that want to leverage AI to create things like web pages, apps, and a lot of these tools or that will actually break, and when it comes to fixing them after there is a problem and you didn't actually get in there, you're not really familiar with the foundational principles behind what what was created. So it's kind of like, I was an adjuster for many years, and before we had these systems or user interfaces that actually does all the calculations for you, this stuff had to be done manually. We had to understand how these operations worked. if this came off, what was next? Now we just put it into a computer and the computer tells you, oh, this is the time for that. This is what happens there. But you don't really know the underlying principles behind it. And when that program or when that software goes down, you could be lost. You could have no clue on how to fix it or what might be going wrong. I for one, I think that still having the foundational skills or still understanding your own processes is necessary. Because if something does go wrong, if there's a part of the chain that could go wrong, it helps to be the one that knows where. It's like the old saying that goes, oh, it's like the saying goes, it's $5 for me to come out, but $5,000 because I know where to knock, or I know where to look. I had an experience like that this weekend. Got on a call with someone who was having a problem with something happening inside of ClickFunnels. And they just, you know how it is, you just can't get it to work and you're spending time on there. And I came in and I saw what the outline looked like, and 5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it's when you're the expert and you know how to fix the problem quickly. What's the true value of that to the end person, right? They could have spent 5-6 hours trying to figure it out themselves, losing money, or they pay you maybe a fraction of that for a 5-minute job, though it may seem exorbitant to them. But they have to look at it from the perspective of, okay, I make X number of dollars of hours and I got to spend 6 hours to fix this problem. So that costs me X dollars for those 6 hours, or I pay somebody 4 hours worth of work that got it done in 5 minutes. So I saved the 2 plus my thing's done. And because now it's done in 5 minutes, I can then make up those potential 6 hours to make the money that would have been made since the project was down. I mean, a lot of people don't think that way. That's radical thinking on the outside of the box to keep the energy in the business flowing, keep the income flowing in, and all that kind of stuff. So,
yeah, I've had some experience with hiring some people, and I don't want to say that, because it's pretty recent, and it's just pretty recent. I'm just gonna talk about a situation that I had, and then you tell me what you think. But I had this person just, hey, I want to work for you. Hey, I want to do this for you. Hey, I want to do this for you. And I like persistency. I do. I love seeing someone that just won't quit. It just gives me a little bit more confidence in them. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, but sometimes if I can be broken down, I can be broken down, and it really depends on how someone approaches me. But I agreed. We started working together, and then all of a sudden, disappearing act, and it happened. It happened after I paid them money. Have you ever experienced that before? And I learned this a long time ago, at least with some. I won't say this for everyone, but I've had some experiences of paying contractors the full amount before the job is done. It's been a mistake.
Oh yeah, like you never pay up front for the full gig. at least 50%, 20%, something that at least covers their base cost to do the work. And, you know, you keep that profit at the end, right? I learned that the hard way. Like the hardest of ways. And it has nothing to do with the marketing. This is way before like I even thought about business and marketing, all that kind of stuff. I had this Mustang, right? It was my dream car at the time. Like I wanted a Mustang. I just got into a car wreck. My Cavalier was totaled. You know, everybody from my area owned a Cavalier, so it was just fitting that my first car was a Chevy Cavalier, bright yellow, just yellow as my Bronco. Okay,
a yellow Cavalier.
Yellow Cavalier with a busted, janky body kit, Dodge Neon wheels, and and one of them rice burner exhausts on it that just droned like. Rawr. Anyway,
wait a minute.
It was terrible. I was Fast and Furious. All right.
Okay, so what song were you playing?
I don't even know. I don't even remember back then. It was 2000. I don't know. I was doing college or whatever. 2008, 2008, whatever. Anyway, I think I was playing the Tokyo Drift song. I don't know. But anyway, so that got totaled. So I ended up getting my dream car, 2006 Mustang GT Premium, got the leather in a V8. It wasn't automatic. I didn't have to drive 6. Sue me, okay? Don't sue me. But I owned that car for like 2 years, maybe 3 years. And one foggy morning, I pulled out into traffic. Okay, I probably should have my window down. That way I could see. But this truck came, didn't have his headlights on in the fog, so I couldn't see him. I did see another car was further down the road. I was like, yeah, I can go. The car's further down the road. Well, this truck comes, smashes me, right?
Mm.
Didn't end up totaling out my car. The insurance said they'll pay for the repairs. And like my entire engine bay, front end of the car, if I would have been like a half second like quicker, I probably would be dead. But hit the engine bay, hit the back quarter panel, flip me around, all that kind of stuff. I go to get it fixed. I got the big insurance check. It was like $5-6 grand. They quoted on repairing it. So I got the check, take it to the guy, drop the cash on his desk, fix my car. Dude disappears for 3 weeks on vacation. The owner of the shop. Obviously, he has employees that fix cars and things like that. But I ended up getting the car back. I got giant car. He killed me. I was like, yeah, never pay somebody the cash up front because you're out. Like once you give it to them, the transaction's happened. You can't get your money back, especially if it's cash. They'll be like, "What? You didn't pay me $5,000." I had a receipt from them, so it was said, yeah, but it's still like pay what is needed to be fixed and then pay them the profit later.
Yeah. Pay half. Do not pay them all. It's interesting because I had that happen to me in maybe a similar situation, but it was for some repairs that I had a contractor do. You know, some remodeling I was doing, pulling out some cabinets, redoing the ceiling and putting it in. Paid him everything, never showed up after. Was doing good. Hey, I'll see you tomorrow. We'll finish it up. Zoom. And then I was like, okay. And then I've had several instances with the same thing. I don't know. Is that just me, or is it and then I have a friend right now that's going through the same thing, and the guy hasn't showed up. It's been 2 years, and the excuses he's getting, it's like he's at the point where he's like, now just give me the stuff and I'll go and do the painting. Is that just a local thing?
Yeah, like I said, that's the solopreneur in you, right? Because the work is too much. You're freaked out. You got the cash. You're living. You're okay. You got nobody holding you accountable but yourself, and that's what you gotta avoid as one, as a consumer, and two, don't be like that as a business owner. That's all I gotta say. So
Right. So as far as I'm just thinking about some of the fears and the things that kind of hold me back, and the things that kind of hold me back when I am thinking about actually giving over some control in the business, and actually thinking about uh, getting some help in leveraging other parts of my business. So keep that in mind. Automate what you can, delegate what you can. Repetitive tasks are probably better to delegate, other than really important tasks. What do you think about that as we end this?
yeah, I mean, automation delegation is key for any business growth. Can't do it all yourself. As they always say, I mean, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, you got to go together. So figure out what your skills are, focus on those, and then hire for where you're deficient. And that's really how to build a business.
Yeah, and remember, the bottleneck is typically always the owner. All right, that's it. We're going to cut it tonight. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. See you on the next show.